While standing, let me invite Ms. Susan Wegoye to come and lead us in a prayer as we begin this morning. Susan?
Let's humble ourselves and pray. Almighty God, our Father, we want to thank you for another day. We thank you for this time in the history of our nation. We thank you for the Electoral Commission. We thank you for the people of Uganda. We thank you for this land that you have given us. We pray, O God, that may your peace and your mercy and your protection continue to reign over Uganda, over the people of Uganda, over the leadership of Uganda, over the Electoral Commission. We pray, O Lord, as we begin today's business, that your presence will abide with us, that your peace will continue to reign over us, and that your joy will fill us and keep us safe. We give you back all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Susan. You may take your seats, Commission. Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, everybody who is here in the Tare Center, the National Tare Center. And good morning to all Ugandans that are watching this occasion, this function, live from the National Tare Center for Presidential Elections of 2026, here at the EC ground, the Electoral Commission grounds in Rubowa, Rweza, in Makinde Sabagabo. Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, members of the Commission, the Acting Secretary, representatives of presidential candidates in this presidential election, representatives of political parties, heads of delegations of missions that are observing this election, members of the civil society that are accredited at this National Tare Center, all observers, both local and domestic and international, members of the press, staff of the commission, and everybody that is watching, good morning and welcome to today. We are here at the National Tare Center for the Presidential Elections of 2026, and we are now in the hands of the commission, and I will take this pleasure. I will take this pleasure to welcome you all and to hand over to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, to take us forward in today's program. Lord Chair, you're welcome.
Thank you, members of the Commission, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners present, and heads of missions, representatives of political parties, stroke presidential candidates, our distinguished guests, international, local observers, media, and all invited guests. Good morning. We are gathered here today to once again update you and the nation at large on the results of the presidential elections that we have received so far at this study center. total number of registered voters on the National Voters Register is 21,649,067. Total number of polling stations, 50,739. The total number of stations from which we have received results so far is 22,758, representing 44.85% of the total number of polling stations. These are the results so far per candidate. Bulira Frank Kavinga, 23,267, representing 0.45% of the valid votes cast. Kasivante Robert, 15,929, representing 0.31% of the total votes cast. Jagulanyi Sentam Robert, 1,312,047, represent 1,312,047,000, representing 19.85% of the total votes cast. Maveriz Joseph, 10,910, representing 0.21% of the total votes cast. Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera, 29,504, representing 0.57% of the total votes cast, total valid votes cast. Munyagwa Mubarak Serunga, 14,742, representing 0.28% of the valid votes cast. Nandara Mafabi James Nathan, 108,301, representing 2.08% of the total votes cast. Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, 3,960,438, representing 76.25% of the total valid votes cast. Valid votes in total so far, 5,194,338. Invalid votes so far, 129,441, representing 2.43% of the total votes cast. Total votes, 5,323,779, representing 24.59% of the registered voters on the National Voters Register. Spoiled votes, 17,281. That is the position currently. Now, as we indicated in our opening remarks yesterday, we shall be releasing these results at regular intervals. And therefore, our next session will be at 2 p.m. See you then.
How many people are actually involved with it?
Our team of sign language.
Yesterday, he did tell us by around 9 a.m. we should expect him for another update this morning, and indeed, together with his commission, has done so. And these are some of the preliminary or results that are not really conclusive, because he will return at 2 p.m. later in the day to give us another update. But of course, yesterday he did tell us about 133 polling stations that had submitted their results, and for now they have got from 22,758 polling stations. That is representing about 44.85%. Don't forget that we do have about 50,000 polling stations, and now if we do have 22, we still have a number of polling stations that haven't submitted in their results. But about the update from candidate Bulira Frank, yesterday he did have 84 votes, making about 0.36%, that is of the valid votes. But right now he does have 23,265, that is making 0.35%. So there is an increase there from a candidate Frank Bulira. We do have Robert Kasivante. Yesterday he did have 66 votes, making it 0.29 valid votes. And of now, he does have 15,929 valid votes, making it 0.31%. Candidate Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu of the National Unity Platform yesterday did have 7,753 votes, making it 33.64%. And today he does have 1,312,047, making it 19.85%. Candidate Mabilizi Joseph, yesterday he did have 45 votes, making it 0.02%. And today, as of now, he does have 10,910 votes, making it 0.21%. Gregory Mugisha Muntu for the ANT, Alliance for National Transformation, as of yesterday, he did have 164 votes, making it 0.71%. And the update that has been given today, this morning, he does have 29,504 votes, making it 0.57%. There is an increase there. Munyagwa yesterday did have 145 votes, making it 0.53%, and now he does have 14,742 votes, making it 0.28%. And yesterday, Nandala Mofabi, he did have 560 votes, making it 2.43%, and right now he does have 108,301, making it 2.08%. And candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yesterday did have 14,232, making it 61.7%. That is as of yesterday, but this morning he does have 3,869,438, making it 76.25%. Valid votes as of yesterday, they were 23,049 valid votes, and this morning we do have 5,194,338 valid votes. Justice Simon Byabakama detailed us that he will return later at about 2 p.m. together with the Commission to give us any other update as and when things will be coming in. So at a later time, we shall also be getting back to you, our viewer who is watching UBC TV and Star TV at this very particular time, to also give you on an update in case anything happens within. If we get certain agents who are in here that we can actually interview at a later time, we shall be as well hearing from them to get an update or an overview on what they think and what kind of information do they receive from the different parts of the country, given that not everyone can access the internet or data right now, except those who have actually the leeway after being permitted by the NERA. Back to you at the broadcast house.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the Biometric Voter Verification Kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my vote.
Well, it's about 5 minutes on to 10 a.m. Welcome back from the National Tally Center as Justice Simon Byabakama, who is the Electoral Commission chairperson, has just given us an update of the second provisional results from the National Tally Center. He will be coming back at 2 p.m. But so far, indeed, as we've got the report, in case you have missed it and you haven't caught up with it, well, here it is. As it stands, of course, the total number of registered voters for the general elections, 2026 general elections, 21,681,491 voters. Polling stations, total number of polling stations registered is 50,739. Now, results from the second provisional results being released are from 22,758 polling stations, covering for about 44.5% of the polling stations. And starting with Bulira Frank, who is now at 23,267 votes, started with 84 votes in the first results. And at that point, he was at 0.36%, now at 0.45% of the valid votes. Kasibante, who was at 66 votes in the first provisional results, now stands at 15,929 votes. At the first provisional results, he was standing at 0.29% and right now stands at 0.31%. Looking at candidate Chagulanyi, who was at 7,753 votes in the first provisional results, he stands at 1,312,407 votes as we speak right now in the second provisional results, and standing at 19.85% of the valid vote from 33.64% of the valid votes in the first provisional results. Looking at candidate Mabirizi, who was at 45 votes in the first provisional results, and that was at a 0.02%. He now stands at 10,910 votes at a percentage of 0.21% of the valid votes. Candidate Muntu was at 164 votes in the first provisional results, and currently with the second provisional results stands at 29,504 at a percentage of 0.57%, all the way from 0.71% in the first provisional results. Candidate Munyagwa stands now at 14,742 votes, bringing him to 0.28%. coming from 145 votes, and that was at 0.63% of the valid votes in the first provisional results. In the first provisional results, candidate Nandala was at 560 votes, And in the second provisional results, candidate Nandala stands at 108,301 votes, bringing him to 2.08%, a shift from 2.43% in the first provisional results. And finally, candidate Museveni, who was at 14,232 votes, at 61.7% of the valid votes in the first provisional results, currently stands at 3,869,438 votes, bringing him to 76.28% of the second provisional results. Valid votes so far registered are now 5,194,338 and were 23,049 in the first provisional results. And in the invalid votes currently stand at 129,441, bringing them to 2.43% of the total votes. And total votes altogether are 5,323,379 votes. That is accounting for 24.59% of registered voters. Spoiled votes so far are 17,281, coming from 37 votes only. The next provisional results will be at 2 p.m. from the National Tally Center. You are watching UBC TV, here to inspire you. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. And in the meantime, I've been picked to look at what the statistics of the past elections looked like, starting off with the 2011 general elections. It was held on the 18th of February 2011, and the registered voters at that time were 13,954,129 voters, and only 59.29% were the voters that turned out to vote. The total number of polling stations in 2011 were 23,968 polling stations, compared to what we have now, and that is 50,739. Total number of polling stations whose results were received at that time were 23,851, and the total number of valid votes registered in 2011 were 7,938,212, and total number of invalid votes in 2011 were 334,548, accounted for 4.04% invalid votes, and the total votes cast were 8,272,760. That was the year 2011. But looking at the year 2016, 2016 had 27,881 polling stations. That is about 99.5% of the total polling stations. This is polling stations whose results were received. But just to go into the total number of polling stations, there were 28,010 polling stations were registered in the year 2016. And out of those 28,010 polling stations, 27,881 polling stations sent in their results. It's the results that were received and counted. And valid votes at that time were 9,851,812. And invalid votes were 477,319. Total votes cast in the year 2016 were 10,329,131, registering spoiled votes of 29,005. Keep in mind that in 2016, it's when the biometric voter verification kits were introduced to the polling system, to the voting system of Ugandans. Now, let's look at 2021, just 5 years ago, before this current election that we exercised yesterday and now counting votes for. In 2021, we did have registered voters come to 18,103,603 voters registered in 2021. and a total number of polling stations was at 34,684 polling stations were registered. Those results that were received in 2021 were 34,601, accounting for 99.76% of the total polling stations. Now, valid votes at that time were 10,350,819 valid votes registered in 2021. Invalid votes in 2021 were 393,500 votes, accounting to about 3.66% of the total votes cast. And the total votes altogether in 2021 were 10,744,319 votes, accounting for 59.35% of registered voters. Spoiled votes there were 29,913, and 83 polling stations in 2021 were nullified. So far, for the 2026 general elections, we are at the second provisional results from the Electoral Commission, and we stand at the number of registered voters that is already obviously standard, which is 21,681,491 voters, 21,681,491 voters. Polling stations in this election cycle are 50,739, and so far results coming through have been collected from 22,758 polling stations, accounting for 44.5% of the registered voters over the polling stations. And definitely we'll keep them coming with reports from the field and with our field reporters in the field here on UBC TV. So stay tuned and be sure to follow all the facts with the statistics as they come through from UBC TV here to inspire you.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the Biometric Voter Verification Kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my voice.
And you were also struck by an iron hammer. I remained silent. So why do you scream so loudly?
A very good morning to you. In case you're just joining us, you are watching UBC TV, 8 presidential candidates. And we've just received provisional results, the second provisional results from the Electoral Commission, and that is at the National Tally Center in Lubowa, where they are being released from. And of course, we are looking at how they are varying from the different presidential candidates, right from what we can say. And in case you haven't caught up with them, let's take a look at what we have on the screen here. As you can see, it's a summary, and the national polling station summary, 44.9% of provisional number of polling stations from the EC, and for course 22,758 stations have been reported as per 9:36 a.m. And this is as of today, the 16th of January 2026. Results coming directly from the Electoral Commission and nowhere else. That means that they are as facts and truth as we receive them from the Electoral Commission. Looking at the summary, candidate Yoweri Museveni of the NRM party is in the lead, as you can see, 76.25%, and he is being followed by candidate Robert Chagulanyi of the NUP party with 19.85%. And you can see that thereafter, candidate Nandala Nathan Mafabi of the FDC party follows with a 2.08%, as you can see on your screen, followed by candidate Mujisha Muntu of the Ant Party by 0.57%. Candidate Mubarak Munyagwa of the CMP Party, that is the Common Man's Party, follows with 0.28%, and candidate Robert Kasibante of the NPP Party, that is the National Peasants Party, follows with a 0.38%. As you can see, candidate Joseph Mabirizi comes through with a 0.21%, making him lead from behind, as Frank Bulira comes at second last position so far with 0.45%, as you can see. General elections, and of course the leading party, as you can see from the pie chart here, it shows that the NRM party is leading indeed by the pie chart. Yellow is taking over with a 76.25%, and NUP is in the second lead, and of course other parties follow on thereafter. We bring you the results as they come through. Justice Simon Byabakama did mention that at 2 p.m. it's when he'll come back with the third provisional results. And as he opened yesterday, as he opened the National Tally Center, he mentioned that it will be on Saturday 17th. It will be on Saturday 17th January 2026 that he will be announcing the official result of who the next president of Uganda will be, and that will be before 5 p.m. tomorrow. It's a time period of 48 hours that he is given to announce the results. So by tomorrow before 5 p.m. we will be in the know of who the next president of Uganda is. But of course, in a few places regarding member of parliamentary seats, a few places, some members of some candidates who have contested for members of parliament already know their fate. For example, in Busiro North, Mayanja has been declared as the winner of the Busiro North candidacy, and he was followed by Ronald Semaganda of the NUP party. Candidate Mayanja is of the NRM party, and candidate Mayanja, actually for him it was the second time that he was contesting. He did contest in 2021, put up a very heavy campaign and lost that election. But again, he has finally got his win in this particular election of the 2026 elections. We'll be giving them to you as they come. Of course, we also learned from Jamira, who is in Bukedea, where the woman, the Speaker of Parliament, the 11th Parliament, Honorable Anita Among comes from and hails from, that Bukedea is yellow as we speak right now. We shall definitely be coming back with Jamila to give us a full update of what the official announcement from the returning officer was. But by the time we spoke with her, she was giving us provisional results that were definitely showing all signs of yellow to the side of NRM in Bukedea district. You are watching UBC TV, and indeed, thank you so much for choosing UBC TV this morning. Thank you so much for choosing to be fed with facts and truth as they come through this early morning. Uganda goes to the polls. Now, let's have a look at what candidates with the member of parliamentary seats, those who contested, what their fate looks like so far. We're starting off with Moroto woman member of parliament. And from what we can see, Chiai Helen of the FDC party has 1,028 votes so far, and you can see, as you can see on the pie chart, it's quite small. But Atiang Stella of the NRM party there comes through with 18,557 votes, which accounts for 69.2% of the votes. And as you can see from the pie chart, the NRM is covering Moroto woman MP. That is Atiang Stella with 69.28%. And looking at other candidates, Apio Lucy Chegem, who is of independent, comes through with 7,199 votes, and that is garnering 26.88% of the votes. And indeed, Apun Bonis Kabonik, independent as well, comes through with a thin score of 0%. Interesting at that. Anyways, let's have a look at Mateniko County. Mateniko County here, Lotukei Raphael Dean represents here the independent ticket, and she comes through at a 6.37% with 1,029 votes, as you can see on your screen. But looking at Loki John Baptist representing the NRM party, and he comes through with 8,487 votes. That is covering 52.51% of the votes, and making the pie chart look yellow as well. That is still in Karamoja sub-region in Mateniko County, as you can see. But looking at the independent candidate, the other independent candidate, as well, as you can see, Akol Caesar Abura comes through with 6,647 votes, covering 41.12% of the votes. Let's have a look at Moroto municipality and see what it looks like there. Now, it's interesting. It's almost half and half, as you can see on the pie chart. But looking at what the pie chart presents here, let's start off, of course, with the yellow side. Adiaka Charles Achotoi, this is Adome Francis Lorica, who covers the yellow side NRM, and that is bringing us to 2,300 votes, covering 51.66%, as you can see on your screen. And this half of the pie chart is covering for Angela Fred, who is on independent ticket and looking at 21,109 votes, covering 47.37% of the votes. Now, looking at other candidates, let's just tap there and see what Angela Zainab Ali, representing the FDC ticket, has a 0%, as well as Ojamuge George Francis on the NUP ticket has a 0%, making this Moroto municipality almost a half and half of independent and the NRM. But as you can see, that the NRM has a slight win. It's quite slight. It's almost a half, but it curves in a little bit and makes it a slight win for the NRM party that has 51.66% by Adome Francis Lorica, winning Angela Fred on the independent ticket. Let's look at Tebeth County. Tebeth County, on the pie chart, as you can see, independent by Lokoru Albert, who has garnered 4,426 votes, giving us 65.15% of that candidate. And the NRM candidate has 34.85%, as you can see on your screen. That is Lokawao Michael Wilson of the NRM ticket, bringing the independent candidate to a win in Tepeth County. Now, let's look at Kinkizi County East. Kinkizi County is not yet ready, but definitely will be bringing you all the results as they come through here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for choosing UBC TV. We are bringing you the provisional results as they come. And of course, as they are so far telling us, the story they're telling is the fact that in the central region, NUP is really dominating. It's red in the central region, but in other parts of Uganda, it's rather yellow. And it looks like this election is between two candidates. You might think that out of 8, it's only 2 that exist. You might think that it's only 2 and the other 8 are not there. But fortunately for you and us and I who voted, all of us who participated, we got a chance to choose one candidate out of the 8. And so far, NRM and NUP are at loggerheads, each one defeating each other at different areas. We did look at Bukedea. The report that came through from Bukedea, Jamila did show us how yellow was winning, but then for the woman MP seat, NUP was winning on there. We did hear from Sironko. Farida did come through and give us an update of the tentative results on there. NRM was leading, but it's also interesting to know that at the polling station where candidate Nathan Nandela Mafabi voted from, he actually lost at his polling station. But at least you could tell that the competition was between FDC and NRM, which still begs to say that in one way or the other, Sironko people still gave presence to candidate Nathan Nandela Mafabi as to where he is born and hails from. Justice Simon Biabakama did mention that at 2 p.m. he'll be coming back to give us the third provisional results. I know many Ugandans, of course, can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 17th of January 2026. And before 5 p.m., it's at that point he'll be giving us a full detail and report of who the president of Uganda is. But for now, we just have provisional results that we are basing on and looking at the different areas of Uganda as to what they are producing and what we are bringing to you from the district tally centers, and of course for presidency coming officially from the National Tally Center. You are watching UPC TV. Stay tuned as we bring you more of the updates. Who will be the next president of Uganda? And as they say, numbers change the game. That is why we make sure that we repeat and bring you these numbers, the statistics as they come through from the National Tally Center. And indeed, as presented by the EC chairperson, that is Justice Simon Byabakama. You are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. Let's look at more of the statistics and, of course, looking at Uganda's general elections in regard to total registered voters. It's interesting that women pay heed to these factors such as these in regards to national matters. As you can see in regards to gender breakdown, let's start with the registered voters who are 21,681 to you to chew on. But let's look at a voter count per region. And looking at West Nile region, we do have 1,394,343 that registered from the West Nile region. And looking at the northern region, accounting for 2,074,138. Karamoja, 5,044 people from Karamoja region. Central North accounts for 1,003,745 people. Now the Eastern accounts for 1,096,255, and the Elgon region comes through at 2,188,393. The Western region accounts for 2,748,917 people, and the Southwest region accounts for 2,724 people, as you can see on there. Looking at Kampala region, which beats the rest of the regions with 5,871,635 people, and Kira accounts for 2,154,893. Now, of course, one of the conversations that is rather interesting is the fact that the NRM party already has MPs representing, so far the total is 17 of them. But let's look at who we have. Unopposed candidates, the current Vice President of Uganda, Honorable Jessica Alupo, who is a Ugandan politician, educator, and a retired military officer serving as the Vice President of Uganda, and woman MP for Katakwi District, elected unopposed in the 2026 general elections, and she previously served as Minister of Education and continues championing national development, women's empowerment, and governance. As the other candidate to look at is one you would now call Mama Bukedeya, Anita Annette Among, who is Uganda's Speaker of the 11th Parliament, very unopposed as a woman member of Parliament, waiting to serve in the 12th August House. And of course, she is recognized for firm leadership, legislative experience, constituency representation, and overseeing parliamentary business, debate, and national lawmaking processes nationwide, and democratic and governance issues at that. The other candidate to look at unopposed, of course, is Honorable Thomas Tayewa, Uganda's Deputy Speaker in the 11th Parliament, looking forward to serve the 12th August House, as he was unopposed in the Ruhinda North, and indeed he is a trained lawyer known for parliamentary leadership, policy debate, regional representation, and promoting effective legislative oversight, accountability, transparency, cooperation, nationally, and development. And of course, his demeanor when you talk about cooperation, it's one of the things he brings forth even when he stands to speak to masses and speak his truth. Quite soft-spoken, but speaks with the facts, and that is a man who always comes through with the facts. The other unopposed candidate is one that is loved by many Ugandan youths, and that is Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, who is the woman member of Parliament for Nebi District, unopposed, looking forward to serving in the 12th August House. And she is known indeed for her youth engagement. If you follow her social media, especially her Instagram, it's one that will keep you locked in because she has interesting content on there, yet content that is rather decent, youthful at the same time, and keeps a Ugandan youth very engaged. Of course, given her relationship with her husband, who is a musician, but she is known for youth engagement, local development advocacy, constituency mobilization, women empowerment, and contributing to legislation addressing regional and national priorities, governance, inclusion, accountability, service, delivery at that as well. Now, the other candidate to look at, I hope we are able to get more of the candidates. Ofono Pondo, he is the Eastern Region Older Persons Member of Parliament, looking forward to indeed serve in the 12th August House. A former media executive advocating elderly welfare, social protection, policy, inclusion, and representing senior citizens' interests within Uganda's national legislative framework, governance, equity, dignity, and representation. Let's see if we do have more. Definitely, Emmanuel Banya comes through there. He is the Member of Parliament of Koboko County and has been elected unopposed in the 2026 general elections. Tasked with representing constituent interests, promoting local development, participating in legislative debates, and supporting government programs for regional socio-economic transformation, governance, accountability, service delivery, inclusion, and stability thereon. Lillian Paparu Obiale is the other candidate that is looking forward to serving in the 12th August House. And she's representing West Nile women, focusing on community development, social services, gender advocacy, and legislative participation in the national parliamentary affairs, governance, inclusion, equity, representation, and policy. Quite a common fact that I'm finding with most of these candidates is the fact that they are ready to represent for service delivery. It's something that has been lacking with most members of parliament. And if you go to ground, you realize that many people are indeed lacking with service delivery and complain when it comes to their members of parliament. But those that have gone through, of course, are promising that. Let's look at the other unopposed candidate, Ruth Rujoki Mushabe. She is the woman member of parliament of Chiruhura district and was elected unopposed in the 2026 general election, focusing on rural development, women empowerment, agriculture support, constituency service, and active participation in Uganda's parliamentary legislative processes, governance, representation, policy, oversight, inclusion, and equity. And the other candidate to look at is Geneva Arinaitwe, still under the NRM ticket. Geneva Arinaitwe is the woman member of parliament for Rubirizi district. She has been elected unopposed, of course, for the 12th August House as well. And her focus is on the education matters, education, health, women's rights, rural development, and bridging grassroots issues with national legislative priorities. The other member of parliament to look at as it's Emily. Emily, I believe, should be a female, but the picture that comes through is that of a male, and I think we need clarity on that as well. But so far, Akum Catherine Mavenjina, Ugandan lawyer, politician, former magistrate serving as the older persons member of parliament for Northern Uganda in the 12th August House. And she's known for her experience, especially when it comes with activism for women's rights advocacy, social policy leadership, and community representation. And Emmanuel Banya is one that we looked at already. But one thing to know for sure is that the NRM party already has 17 cadres in the 12th August House. And of course, those were unopposed, counted unopposed. Now, of course, there are wins in different areas who are being added to that list. If at all it's a 17-mile stretch or it's a stretch from 0 to a point, NRM was already leading by 17 miles and is already adding on. Will other political parties catch up? Well, we await to see as the results continue to come through. We'll definitely be giving you more of the results as they come through and more of every statistic as it comes through. But just make sure that you stay tuned to the national broadcaster, and that is UBC TV where facts are shared and then spread to the public so that no information is misinformation. Well, Uganda goes to the polls, and now Uganda gets its result of who the next president shall be. You are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaban. We are showing you statistics from the different areas as to how each party is performing, what each area looks like. Is it red? Is it yellow? Is it gray? Quite confusing. We did see that there is, it must have been municipality, Moroto municipality, that was actually very, very gray with independents leading more than the NRM tickets right there in regards to MP. But let's look at what districts look like, and starting off, of course, with Moroto that I've just been talking about. As you can see on your screen, Yoweri Museveni of the NRM party is at 24,906 votes. That is accounting for 90.76%, followed by Chagulanyi Sentamu of the NUP ticket with 1,446 votes, accounting for 5.27% of the votes. What a difference there. Let's look at what the district statistics look like. As you can see, registered voters in Moroto alone are 41,546 voters registered. And you can see those who are voting as male voters, 18,443. Remember what I talked about at the start, the statistics of men and women registered voters. We do have the female beating here in Moroto. And as you can see, female voters are 23,103 voters registered to vote in the election of the 2026 general election. Like I said, I pose it to you for you to chew on and ponder. Is it a fact of population that women are more than the men in Uganda, or is it a fact of spirit that women are more determined when it comes to matters of national importance? But as you can see also, the total population of Moroto as by UBOS 2024, it's 103,639 people, and polling stations there are just 118. Now let's look at other candidates away from NRM and NUP. Third position was taken by candidate Nandala Nathan Mafavi of the FDC party with 529 votes, covering 1.93% of the votes of this percentage there, and followed by candidate Frank Bulira of RPP with 191 votes, covering 0.70%, as you can see. And candidate Mubarak Munyagwa of CMP party covers with 110 votes, 0.40%. Candidate Robert Kasivante of the National Peasants Party comes through with 99 votes in Moroto district and brings us to 0.36%. And candidate Mugisha Muntu of ANT comes through with 90%. Actually, it's, I think, quite a surprise. Well, not as in regards to region, maybe not, but you would expect candidate Mugisha Muntu to actually beat all Robert Kasivante and Bulira there, but he comes through at the 7th position with 90 votes, and that is covering 0.33%. And finally, candidate Joseph Mabirizi of the CP party comes through with 72 votes only, and at 0.26% of the vote, as you have seen. We bring you the statistics, and definitely as they come through as facts and spread as the real information that you need to follow up. Numbers change the game, so do not be as excited until the final result is announced tomorrow by the EC chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama. That is before 5 p.m. He'll be coming back at 2 p.m. to give us the third roundup of the provisional result. Uganda goes to the polls 2026.
Let's talk peace. Wherever you may be.
Nkubiriza abadriver bannange ne bakondakita nammwe mwenna abakolera ku paaka ereka nti bwe tuba tusaba ey'okulonda tukuume emirembe ne wekubanga nti ayisemu si ewuwo kuuma emirembe.
What I understand by peace is maybe connecting together or unity together without quarrels, without bad attitude. Yeah.
Just know omuntu alina emirembe okulonda oyo gwawuliramu emirembe.
From one home, all from one family, the beautiful part of Africa, Uganda. Let's talk peace, wherever you may be. Let's talk peace. Uganda, talk peace. 256.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
I'm Superintendent of Police, Bagans Patience, the DPC Dokoro. We are in for the election period and my role as police is to provide security. However, if we are to have a peaceful election, it is a two-way traffic. The wananchi also have a role to play in this. The catchword in this is to have an election period where everyone is to participate freely without any fear. Our commitment as police, we are going to prepare and prepare and prepare. And then we shall give a leveled ground for all of you to participate in this election. We call upon all Ugandans to keep peace during this election period.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
My name is Amanya Belinda. Allow me remind us that elections come and go. They are periodic. Every after 5 years, we have another set of election. But what remains is the fact that we are Ugandans and we are not changing that fact. So in this coming 2026 elections, may we remember that what unites us is the blood that runs through our blood vessels. So go vote whoever represents your aspirations, your views, your beliefs, and feel free to vote them respectfully and without any form of violence. I wish you all a great and deliberate election come this election season.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
We are into the political season. The atmosphere is highly charged. There is a lot of excitement everywhere you look. But elections come and go. We all remain the same people staying in this one country. We must prioritize peace. We do not want to witness violence. No one should be throwing stones. No one should be using inciting language or abusing others. No one should use a stick against a fellow citizen. No one should use bullets or even tear gas against citizens. Instead, we should sit as brothers and sisters, as Ugandans, and discuss issues that may appear different, one camp from the other. I look forward to seeing an NRM supporter sitting with an NUP supporter and taking coffee. I want to see somebody from Arua sitting down for a cup of coffee with someone from Bugisu, from Chigezi, from Buganda. Let's learn to tolerate each other, even when we have differences between us, because that's how we are created. We are not the same. What we should appreciate is that we can all live together. Uganda is big enough for everyone. So we should respect one another. We should not incite violence. We should not in any way participate in anything that breaches the peace. That's my call to all Ugandans during this season.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the biometric voter verification kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot, and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my voice.
Let's talk peace.
As we approach the general elections in our country, the Republic of Uganda, this is a call to all the young people. The most important thing for all of us is to ensure that we keep our country peaceful. Definitely you have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, but as young people we think we have a very, very big mandate to keep our country peaceful. Go. But
Let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace. Yonko kunajimanya ejini initiate yokwasa kwebembera abantu ombwiro budiro ntuzamu. Tayo yana hajera ekibine cya kwagera mureke kunkaza hotera karuru dene kintu kitambure jo miso.
Nyewe ninjira nti okufuna obusinjana n'emirembwe twaruga omukaruru nari kitwazo mukutera karuraka leka tugende n'omu erembezi oturafune tutagire mu kuyomba no kugwanangana.
Wherever you may be. So, Uganda, talk peace. 256. Let's talk peace.
Wherever you go, my sister, my bro, let peace be with you.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
Let there be peace.
Dear people of Masaka, elections must never divide us, but instead strengthen our shared vision of building a promising future for our motherland. Our call to you, dear brothers and sisters: 1. Always pray for peace.
Emirembe ekiseera kino mu byobufuzi nti abantu bali mu bibiina ebyenjawulo oyinza okusiŋŋaana omuntu omu awagira kirala ng'awagira kirala naye obuzibu we buli nti awagira kyotawagira olowooza nti mulabe naye ye bw'ategeera naawe bw'otegeera.
Yes.
So tubasaba tubeere ba mpisa tubeere ba mirembe.
Let Greater Masaka, from the trading centers to the villages, be a place of dialogue, not chaos.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Greetings, Uganda. My name is William Nahura Murinda, and I'm here to talk to the old people in Uganda about keeping peace when that day and that time of election comes. Mahatma Gandhi said that an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Therefore, peace during election is not only a path that we want to reach to the destination, it is the destination that we want. Thank you, and may God bless you as you choose your best candidate peacefully.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
I'm urging all youth, I'm urging all Ugandans, please, let's have a peaceful elections this time round. Let's vote peacefully. After voting, let's walk back home. Let's protect our gains. Let's be peaceful. Please, let's gather in numbers. Let's go and vote peacefully. Then we go home peacefully. Thank you.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and Partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace. This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and Partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the Biometric Voter Verification Kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot, and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my voice. Your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly.
Thank you for watching UBC. We are bringing you the UBC UG Polls 2026. And of course, earlier on, we had an update from the chairman of the Electoral Commission, and that is Justice Biabakama. And we shall have another update at 2 p.m. Yes, that is what we anticipate according to what he told us earlier on. And of course, the provisional results keep on coming in and the numbers keep on changing. Some of you are already excited. Others are already in a somber mode. Others are excited and the next minute they are sad. But of course, it is an election. There is always a winner and there is always a loser. But looking at the provisional results as they stand from the National Tally Center, that is in Lubowa, Reza. And of course, the leading candidate there, like you can see, is Yoweri Museveni for the NRM party. That is the flag bearer. Standing at 76.25%, canvassing over a number of votes, and that is 3,960,438 votes. And coming second is Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, the flag bearer for the National Unity Party, and standing at a percentage of 19.85, with a number of votes at 131,200. With a total amount of 1,312,470 votes. And of course, Nandala Mafabi James, that is for the Forum for Democratic Change, is at 2.08%. And of course, about Nandala Mafabi, something interesting at the polling station where he casted his vote yesterday. amazingly or surprisingly, he managed to come second in lead against the NRM. And of course, he secured over 146 votes at his specific polling station, and the NRM candidate had over 157 votes, making it a difference of 11 votes. And of course, moving on to the Alliance for National Transformation, the candidate there is Mugisha Muntu, who is at 0.57%, with the number of votes of 2,020. The number of votes is 29,504 votes. And of course, Mubaraka Munyagwa Serunga for the Common Man's Party, he is standing at 0.28%, with the number of votes of 14,742. And Robert Kasivante there of the NPP is standing at 0.3% with 15,929 votes. Of course, more from the provisional results from the National Tallying Center. That's in Reza. Joseph Mabirizi of the Conservative Party is at 0.21%, standing at the number of votes so far at 10,910. And of course, Frank Bulira comes at 0.25% with the number of votes that are 23,267. Yes, just an infographic for you there. You can look at the pie chart that clear gives you the visual portions of each and every candidate as it stands from the National Tally Center. And of course, yes, the colored part with yellow, as you can see, is having 76.25%, representing the NRM candidate, that is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. When we look at NUP, that is 19.85%. Of course, there is that shade in red. Robert Chagulanyi stands with that portion or with a proportion. And of course, yes, we have the Alliance for National Transformation. They are in purple. Yes, it's a bit constricted because that is the percentage on which he stands of 0.56%. And of course, the FDC also, when you look at our pie chart there, it is a big promising to converse over the NUP, that is the NUP proportion, but the FDC is standing at 2.08%. And of course, Mubaraka Munyagwa Serunga comes in here, as you can see there, at 0.28%, as it is reflected on the pie chart, as you can see there. And of course, advancing, Robert Kasivante on 0.30%, still represented there at our pie chart. And yes, to go on with the RPP flag bearer, that is Frank Bulira, standing at 0.45%, represented still on the pie chart. Each and every candidate has been represented. We have not left out any candidate. And of course, lastly, it is Joseph Mabirizi, standing at 0.21% of the current votes that have been tallied at the National Tallying Center. Apparently, the number of votes that have been counted, we shall be showing them to you there later on. But of course, the polling stations are 22,758 as reported as per 9:36 p.m. And of course, it stands at 44.9%. And of course, we are going to be speaking to some of our reporters in the field to give us a feel of what is happening wherever they are situated and wherever they are reporting from. And of course, I'm with Mohammed Yiga, the one in Mbali, going to give us a snip of something that is going on there to paint a brief picture of what is